Now there's a conflict resolution process that we're going to teach you. And it's called Ho'oponopono in Hawaiian. And it's a real easy process. And it's whenever you get to the clearing videos, this is the process that you use whenever you're on the maintenance video and you want to just work on a small problem after you've listened to the initial clearing process several times. And this one should be at least half as short as the initial clearing. So it's based on some of the things that you've learned already. And when we think about conflict resolution, does it take two people? Like, let's say you have a problem with one person and you want to resolve that conflict with the person. You do. So does it take both of you to do it or just one? Think about it for a moment. And if you say it takes two, what about if you had a conflict with a person that's already passed? You had a conflict with them when they were here, and then now they passed, and you still have a conflict. But when you think about them, it still doesn't feel right. It's unresolved. Yeah. So does that mean that you're going to have this unresolved conflict with this person that's passed for the rest of your life? Well, if you think it takes two people, then the answer is yes. However, we'd like to help you reframe that. So we think that it only takes one. And of course, that can only be you. So if you did the clearing, here's all the stuff that you have. Yeah? And here's the issue that you have with the person. This is a big issue. And you want to clear this. If you just started trying to clear the relationship with this individual, there's a whole bunch of other things in here, in your neurology, in your memory banks, that's affecting this relationship. Everything is interconnected. Every neuron is connected to another. So we would never work on a relationship straight out the gate. We will work on clearing the negative emotions. We call it, like you're looking at that sheet, general house cleaning, anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt. And then move on to limiting beliefs, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of being undeserved, fear of being unworthy. Then we move on to values, aligning your values with regards to relationships, family, personal growth, health and fitness, career, spirituality, life and living in general or specifically. Then we would get down to conflict resolution, ho'oponopono. And most of the time, we think that we only have a conflict with a person. However, we include places and things as well. People, places, and things. So we talked about this earlier. It could be a place like my car or my house got broken into, and it's not my family home, so as soon as my lease is up, I'm out. Or a thing, a ring. I see my grandmother's ring and I start crying, or my wedding ring and I start, whatever it may be. Yeah? People, places, and things. Including self. Now, the easiest person to forgive is ourselves. Think about that. No, not all the time. That's correct. However, if you believe in God, or Jesus, or something greater than yourself, especially if you believe in God, Jesus, Buddha, or something greater than yourself, you know they would forgive you. Then who are you to say that you wouldn't be able to forgive yourself? So people, places, and things, including self and spirit. When we talk about spirit, what are we talking about? We will use the term spirit, but specifically we mean whatever spirit means for you. Which it could mean God, it could mean Jesus, it could mean Akua, it could mean Buddha, universal consciousness, your own internal wisdom, whatever spirit means for you. And the reason we work on spirit first is because oftentimes people will say they believe in God or Jesus. We'll just pick those two first. And a tape loop might be running in the back of their head that says, yes, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. But what? But Jesus wasn't there in all of my times of need. Why? Because if Jesus was, why did he take my 5-year-old, my 6-year-old, my mom, my wife, my dad, my brother, my sister? So there's a conflict. So we want to resolve that conflict first. And then move on with the conflict that you might have with yourself. And then people, places, and things. When we get to places and people, it's important to we include our ancestors. So we'd say something like, I forgive you and all of my ancestors forgive you too. From the beginning of time to the end of time, future generations to come. And then ask for forgiveness in the same way to them. So whenever we work on yourself, sometimes there could be a traumatic event that happens in your life. And it could be at any age. And it just seems like something just got splintered off or broken off from me. It's kind of like a car. A car gets into a traumatic event. Like what? Hitting something. A tree. Another car. Something flies off of the car. So sometimes when you have a traumatic event, a part of you might be missing. Just kind of splintered off or lost. So during the process, we'll bring that part back. We refer to it as a soul retrieval. So now we're going to do the process. And this is all done in your mind's eye. So in your mind's eye, create a stage below you. And invite the individuals up on the stage with whom you are seeking resolution. Then make an umbilical cord connection from your heart to their heart. Then imagine an infinite source of love, healing, forgiveness, and understanding above the top of your head. Allow it to flow in through the top of your head, filling up your body now. Then overflowing out of your heart through the umbilical cord, the chakra connections. And filling up the people, places, and things until they are totally whole, healed, and forgiven. Then allow Spirit to make an umbilical cord connection to each and every one of you, filling all of you up with unconditional love, light, and aloha. And then ask for forgiveness. I forgive you and all of my ancestors forgive you too, from the beginning of time to the end of time, future generations to come. Do you and all of your ancestors forgive me and my ancestors, from the beginning of time to the end of time, future generations to come. Then when you have that feeling across time, float down up on the stage and allow all of you to feel feelings of love, healing, forgiveness, and understanding. Then remove the umbilical cord, the chakra connections, and allow them to float away, knowing that when you reconnect again, you'll be reconnecting from where you are now, at a higher level of consciousness. So this is the one that we would use in the maintenance, where if you had a situation, it could be 6 minutes after you use the program and something comes up and you check your own wisdom, you go, this is an issue. So you create a stage below you and invite the issue up on the stage. Anything that might be associated to the issue, then make a connection to them. Allow that divine ring of light above the top of your head to fill them all up, connect to heaven again, and then ask for forgiveness. I forgive you, do you forgive me? Answers across time on all sides. And then ask for some insights. Is there any insights that I might be given at this time from any of you? And then remove the umbilical cord, allow them to float away, knowing that when you reconnect again, you'll be reconnecting from where you are now and from where they are now, after you've all received the healing. That's the basic one that you use. However, remember we talked about Spirit. Whenever we get ready to do this, initially, Spirit will be first, then you, and then the basic one that we just went over. Spirit will be something like this. Create in your mind's eye, create a stage below you. Then invite Spirit up on the stage in whatever form Spirit represents for you. Then make an umbilical cord connection from your heart right into the heart of Spirit. As you imagine an infinite source of love, healing, forgiveness, and understanding above the top of your head. Just allow it to flow into the top of your head. Feel like you're up your body now, then overflowing out of your heart through the umbilical cord, the chakra connection. and filling up spirit until spirit is totally whole, healed, and forgiven. As you say to spirit, I forgive you for whatever has happened in the past. Me not thinking you were there in all of my times of need. I forgive you. Do you forgive me? As you float on up on the stage, say whatever else you're required to say to bring harmony and peace with your relationship to spirit. Then remove the umbilical cord, the alka connection, and allow spirit to float away, knowing that when you reconnect again, you'll be reconnecting from where you are now, at a higher level of consciousness. Then from right there, you'd bring in the people. Now, bring in the people, place, and things up on the stage, whom you're seeking resolution. Make sure one of them is that little girl, that little boy inside. And then make an umbilical cord connection from your heart to their heart. Allow that energy source continue flowing in out of your heart through the umbilical cord, filling them up until they are totally whole, healed, and forgiven. Then allow spirit of cord to place an umbilical cord into each and every one of you, filling all of you up with unconditional love, light, and aloha. Now place your awareness on that younger you. That little boy or girl inside. And say to her, I forgive you. Do you forgive me? As you float on up on the stage, hug that younger you. Allow her to know that you will always be there to protect her or him. And take that part of you inside and allow that part of you to integrate into the whole. And if there ever was a part of you that felt like it might have gotten splintered off or lost from some traumatic event that happened in the past, whether it was from this lifetime or a previous one, allow us to go to the ends of the universe, all dimensions, past lives, generations, back across all time and space, and bring those parts back to you now. As you now float back above the stage and turn your awareness to the rest of them, the people, the places, and things. And we already did this part. Do you forgive me? I forgive you. Do you forgive me? Answers across time. So we've already done that part.